o'clock, and I had to rush around and get some bits done.
That's all right. I think that Billy might go off for a couple of minutes because he says he's got to go and pick his grandson up. What time do you have to go and do that then?
No, all I have to do is just duck out the door real quick and get him off the bus. The bus driver won't drop him off unless somebody meets him.
Okay.
That's about 7 minutes, like at 4 o'clock. So.
Otherwise, they go another round.
Hey, D.
How's it going, Billy?
Thank you. Glad to be invited.
Oh, actually, we're waiting for Blaine as well.
Getting into this 4D stuff. So,
yes.
Sorry, we're waiting for Blaine.
Sorry, Karen.
No, it's my fault. I jumped in. We're waiting for Blaine. We're waiting for Wilson. Blaine and Wilson, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'd be 8. But yeah, 4D stuff. Series loves 4D. Don't you, Series?
Sorry, Series loves what?
You love the 4th dimension, the 5th dimension, the 6th dimension. Series loves all the dimensions.
For the
yeah, 4 dimensions, 5 dimensions, 6 dimensions. But we're, at the moment, it's looking like we're going up to, what is it, 13 series?
Yeah, at least. And probably times 13 or something.
I'm going to take my camera off because you know I have this problem, so I'm just going to take my camera off.
How many times? 9, for example. Yeah, 48.
There it is. A bit better now because it's just the bandwidth.
+1.
Just very quickly while we're waiting for the other two, did you see that I had a little hangout with Craig today and stuck that on? I've known him a long time.
I've not watched it yet, but I did see it come up.
Yeah, you'll like the stuff he talks about.
Yeah. But Jake actually likes to go.
Yeah, it looks like we might get one with Jake Gibson as well.
Yeah, cool.
Jake, what, Fat Arsehole?
Yeah, the guys in America, I can't meet them otherwise through an hangout, you know.
What I said to him was, I said, Jake, because I saw him posting, I said, Jake, I said, I've got all these people coming on a hangout, and I said, maybe not for that one, but we really would like to have a hangout with you. Please reconsider. Oh, all right, I might do one at the end of the month when I get back from my vacation, so I'll just have to pester him.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that should be fun because he's a personality for sure. He's like I think he is in it to entertain. So
Definitely an entertainer. I mean, he has his bands and I don't know. He lost his girlfriend in the process, etc. I've followed everything.
Yeah, that video of him, talking about him losing his girlfriend was what kind of inspired me to do my my Flat Earth Awakening video, my first Flat Earth video. So
yeah. Cool.
I think we'll carry on proper when Billy's picked his son up. The person up, is it your grandson or son, Billy?
It's my grandson, and it's all set. I'll be joining you in 2 seconds.
That's okay, brilliant.
It's always
into the realm in that sense.
Yeah.
Flat Earth is the barrier in that sense of between the two pyramids into the spirit, from the flesh into the spirit.
You've got quite a religious background, haven't you, if I remember correctly?
Completely not.
Asking Billy, sorry.
Yes.
That's great series. Completely not, and Billy, yes.
Yeah, no, it's just I know series obviously brushes on the religious side of stuff as well. So I think again that would be another thing that you guys might want to talk on maybe, or.
I was going to ask.
rather the spiritual side than the religious institute side.
Yeah.
Not about the authority they try to tell you, but the actual knowledge they try to hide from you.
Exactly. I believe that we're spiritual, eternal light beings.
Yes.
You people are most of the dome or dome, no dome. What's your view on the ceiling barrier?
Well, can I just explain this? We have another person who comes on a lot of our hangouts. He isn't here today. His name is Alan. He's worked for an electricity company. He's found scalar waves. There is a firmament. At the moment it's a frequency. He doesn't know what else it is. It's definitely a frequency, and the scalar waves come down, but he can't tell what it is because no one's been up there, have they?
Okay.
But there's definitely a firmament.
Like he did say he's not sure whether it's solid or a frequency.
Yeah.
Really, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of barrier field as a seal around it in that sense. Based on the pillars between north and south, the 4 pillars.
oh yeah, series has got a pretty serious map. Like I say, that shows you the 4 pillars of the earth and everything as well. Because he's just starting to talk about it now, and I don't want you to be out of context.
No, that's okay. So we're like a shoebox, in other words, sort of.
It's basically we live within the square cube, but there is a beyond in north and south. And I'm not sure what the barriers are, but there seemingly are barriers to go through. And beyond there is the spiritual realm in that sense. That, east-west is in a sense the 4th dimensional space loop.
Okay.
Have in the north-south, but then 26 squares around as a circle. The looping of space in a sense of that when you exit the box on one side, you enter the box on the other side, but you perceive it always from the center of the box. As you move within the box itself moves with you. In that sense, you will never see an edge. What they try to sell with the Pac-Man map. That you have an edge you go over. There is no edge to go over. You just take the whole circle with you. Of the circle in that sense.
Yeah, I like to think of it like that, Billy. If you see my picture there, the flower life, you see all those circles, but they're all overlap, and that's kind of how I try and explain reality. We've all got our own individual bubble.
Okay.
It's the overlap, right. and you're always at the center of the overlap.
So within each bubble, the sun and the moon set, and the stars revolve in each and everyone's bubble.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm with some people, man. I'm with some people that can think a little bit. That's beautiful because struggling over this local sun and local moon thing. And people are really angry with me because I don't see the A&E map being valid anymore. If it is, the sun and the moon aren't circling, as they say. So, sun and the moon rise and set just like it does on a protractor. So everyone would have their individual bubble, individual line of sight.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like the sun and the moon, whether they're not tangible, but they're simulated within everyone's own bubble, in other words. Would you agree with that? Or?
Yeah.
All right. Great. Beautiful.
This is how big that bubble actually is, on where the edge of the bubble is, on how we can actually calculate it and make it virtual visible. But actually works. How you have still the three-dimensional cube, that our perspective bubble is way smaller within that, and because of that we see only part of it. We can't see to the other side of the world because we can only see 3-4 miles beyond our own position around us. And then you have a particular sky, what is a kind of upwards angle in how you can achieve a maximum angle of the sky, and that still is just a part of the whole.
One more time.
Half of
What is your name, the person who's speaking again?
Series.
Series, yeah.
Or whatever. What is your handle or whatever? I just want to make sure if when I address you.
Series, Demeter, One Hippie.
Oh, Demeter? Okay, Demeter. I'll use Demeter. That sounds good. Great.
Demeter is my Facebook name.
Yeah, I don't have a Facebook. I use my wife's account, so that's why you guys probably didn't recognize me. Mark's my real name, and Andy or Joe Friday. I have 2 accounts on YouTube, so I had a little problem with some people, some verbal attacks and stuff like that. People joining my channel, send messages. I mean, it's just getting crazy. And there's no way I could block people from joining my channel, so I had to erase my whole channel and start over. So, and I revisited looking at the flat Earth model that was being presented by a lot of big channels. And if you bring any of these topics up, you get labeled to being a lunatic, don't know what you're talking about, you know. So at least here, I can see already that you guys are open-minded and you think the box, and you're coming up with some strong, valid points that I believe that we're in 2 dimensions on the plane, and there's 2 dimensions above, if not more. I am total agreement of that. I have no idea, but that there's corners. There's the 4 corners of the Earth, and edges and corners and pillars, as well as the circle.
You'll see in a minute, Billy. Sorry to interrupt you there, but hopefully Series will show you what we've got as a map, and I think you'll be quite impressed.
Okay.
Explaining how I came to the idea and what is actually the proof for my sense, as far as I see proof. It's completely on Google Maps data.
Okay.
Photographic material, what they take as their satellite images, and the way they actually store it is based on pure squares, and the main image is one big square. Is so many pixels by so many pixels. And that's how they store their data, but the data is only up till the latitude 85 when you have the GPS coordinates. But for the GPS coordinates, they use a particular formula to translate the GPS into the XY coordinates. You need to actually to get a detailed image from a certain position within the square. And that formula actually gave away that the transformation to destroy reality for what the photograph is to put it on a ball, and that they do that on the latitude and longitude. And I figured that is the way to actually destroy reality itself, and the photographs we get is the actual reality, but they tell it's from a ball. They lie about. They can't lie the data, but they can lie about the data. And we believe them instead of actually investigating the raw data itself and make up our own minds. So that they only lie about the data, and the data itself shows the pure square of what it is. And figured out even that elevation data was even going beyond the 85 latitude, because the imagery data ends there, but elevation did go on. And I even managed to get a complete square on top and on the bottom of it. That into the ball projection and transform that back into the things. You actually end up with less data. The 2/3 of the complete top and bottom is completely disappeared, while there is way much more detail than when you don't, when you actually take it raw as it is. Actually know themselves what it is, and yeah, like they took the keys, they hide the keys, they don't go in themselves, and they prevent anyone else from going in as well. And that's the whole thing of hiding reality right in your face, even with Google Maps. So far you see the detail when you zoom in, but when you zoom out, at the moment you can't see detail anymore. They transform it into the ball projection. And you believe it's from ball. But when you actually take the ball projection and you look into the detail, then you will see that it is completely destroyed as a reality, because you don't have, no longer have houses with corners of 90 degrees, but less or more. Completely, yeah, is. And when you take the original image, then yeah, it's just the square what it is. Proof that they actually show the truth right in your face and just lie about it. And then how the whole workings is, that's more how free energy, for example, talks about the principle of the fourth dimension in how the east-west space loop works, how light is actually bended. Explains it seems to me that the sun and the moon are kind of sort of toroidal fields of where they are the centers, we can see the focal points, but the field itself floats on the earth. And that's why we see it on top of there. It's not the center where it floats on the earth, but the field itself. And it is the sixth dimension in that it is the up and down. Because if east-west is the fourth dimension as a space loop, and north-south is the fifth dimensional as a space loop, then sixth dimension is upwards. There's not 6D would work within the whole three-dimensional cubes thing. It's because it's containing the fourth and the fifth as well, as the fifth contains the fourth, and the three, and the three, the two again, and so on. So it's kind of a field in a field in a field, and seven is then the container of the sixth, fourth, fifth, and fourth. And we are on all those levels, but just not aware of that particular level of spirituality we are. And that's the whole game here, that we get to know oneself. In the essence of that, we know who we are. And actually witness below, as we are in the image of the above. So above, so below, and all also with the whole chakra system, their scales, that's exactly the same.
Series, he's still listening. Series, he's still listening.
No, do you believe in the atomic theory at all? Or do you think that, yeah, do you think that our reality, including ourselves, is a simulation? In the simulation theory.
Yes, sort of holographic reality. In the essence of that, the smallest part of it contains the complete whole. Where we can actually, as a singularity within the whole, within ourselves, to actually tap in the library on and ask the question we want an answer on.
So, in duality, could we be in two dimensions at once? Or are we just stuck in this dimension?
It is actually the path out of duality. Is that we tend to divide it all the time, but it is working as a whole, same as the sun and the moon. They can't exist without each other. the male and the female energy. Same as heaven and earth. They can't exist without each other. The Father in heaven, the Mother on earth. The earth as the mother womb out of where creation comes. It is a dynamic of both energies. It's only existing as a whole and not as a separate entity in that sense. We tend to separate them because that is the duality part in where we grow up. We divide everything. But it is mainly about realizing the dynamics between the two polarities. In that sense. Same as in the elevation data, I saw the southern energy and the northern energy. The southern energy is both land with a mountain and a valley. In where the mountain I call the plus energy and the valley I call the plus minus energy. And then in the north, you have a deep valley within the sea, H in the sea. And the deep valley I call the minus, and the mountain range in the sea I call the minus plus. And so you have actually 4 different polarity combinations in 4 different pillars. In the south, it looks like the land itself is like the earth, and then is where we on as on a tree, and then the north is even the deep rim tree ranges into the heavens in that sense, and it looks really like a complete tree growing upwards. From south to north, in that south is the earth and north is the heaven. Duality and polarity the same in that we have our roots in the heaven and we are growing as a tree into the earth.
I like that analogy.
Pretty mind-blowing stuff. Hey, Billy, I thought you'd enjoy it here.
I do. Plus, there's no chat harassing me either, so that's great. You know what I'm saying? Called out in the chats and stuff. But no, it's relaxing. It's relaxing.
Try to keep it a troll-free zone. So,
yeah, it's very nice.
That's why we started this group. But there's no real forum for actual talk for flat earthers, except all those forums, groups where Globers are taking on the flat earthers in that sense, you know. And there's warriors. Well, yeah, that's the duality game of divide and conquer. In this conclusion, I also saw the ball is the control factor, and the circle is the chaos factor, and it's either under control on the ball or in chaos on the circle. Square is out of that, out of that game of dividing each other. It's actually realizing who you are. It's not that they hide God, they actually hide you.
Yeah, that's about right, series. Anyway, we're a group that want to know more. Some people are just happy with it being flat, you know, maybe they're happy just posting and whatever, but in this group we want Flat Earth to go forward, and Series has spent many months doing his research. We're not quite finished yet, are we, Series? You've got to do some simulations, which aren't easy because he's got to put Santos, Ken Wheeler,
stuff behind
and Free Anarchy all together.
Data.
Yeah, so no one else has done it before. So
yeah, Billy, have you checked out a channel called Free Energy, spelt with an A?
No, but I've heard about the channel.
Yeah, he'd be worth looking at as well because he's quite an inspiration for Series.
Although he's gone off at the moment to do another project, hasn't he? He's got. I think what it was is that he just wanted to put out to everybody that he understood the concept of the 4th dimension and everything. And then later on, when his work had been out for quite a few months, that people have hammered him a bit because he's not put everything into, what do you call it, not all mathematically done. He just wanted the concept, so he's gone off, I think, to show it in better scale of what everything means. Because people started attacking him. But he just wanted everybody to understand the concept. And even this dimension thing, people don't understand, like, oh, our bodies are living, we're living in different dimensions inside our body. So if we're doing it in our body, it's going to be happening outside our body. And people can't quite put this together yet because of the 3D. We see things in 3D, don't we? That doesn't mean it's not happening.
I've put 2 videos with free energy, and the last one is my own presentation in the chat. Do you see them?
Yes. I'm gonna join your channel. Let me get there. I was looking at that.
That last one that Siri's put in is definitely the one to look at, because that's the work that he's been doing as well. So the whole presentation on the work he's been doing up to this point.
Great.
Yeah, I say a lot more in there.
All right.
Sometimes I repeat some stuff I saw, but
Yeah. Repeat yourself. It's not easy to grasp this stuff. It took me 3 months.
yeah, it took me way longer, I guess.
Yeah.
It's actually, yeah, the development takes always the longest time. Actually, presenting the information that somebody else understands it, a lot easier, I guess. Although being understood is my big challenge. Yeah. And that's the whole thing, what you see with all the chills. They're not there to actually get to know you, to see the island of what your opinion is in of what you can see, but to make war, or make you make war for your island. That you may have your opinion. Well, yeah, fuck that may have.
I knew it. The Earth was a square. I just knew it. I know it. I'm just. If they tell you it's round, it's just the opposite. It's square. If they say it's a round ball, it's a flat square. It just figures, man. I'm telling you, it's the opposite every time. Unbelievable. Thanks for those links, Siri. Appreciate it. I joined both of those channels, so I'd have reference to them.
Yeah, the one hippie is Siri's channel. That is Siri's YouTube channel.
I don't have a lot there, but
no, actually, it's okay. I'll check it out.
A lot, but Google, after 3 strikes, they deleted my YouTube account, so I lost completely everything in there, all my playlists, etc., etc. You know, no idea how to build it up again. And that's my main Google account. Hippie.
Series, you from the States area?
No, I'm from Holland.
Oh, okay.
The Netherlands.
Everybody else on the Hangout so far is from the UK. Blaine should be joining in a minute. He's from the United States. And Wilson, if he comes on, he's from Canada.
Most of my English I actually learned by speaking and typing with Americans.
You speak really, really good English, so. Are you Dutch Reformed at all? Brought up?
Yeah, completely
Christian.
Dutch. Yeah, it's my
Completely
second
Dutch,
language. Okay.
Are you familiar with QNFE?
Oh my goodness. I'm really sorry. He's an enemy. He hacked. He tried to hack our program. QMV was brought in by Jason and Ronnie. We thought were our friends and who was starting to help us. And then at Christmas time, even though we gave Ronnie the login, they wanted to hack it, get Q&V in, and he tried about 6 times to hack our website.
Well, I didn't know that. I thought they were nice people. I don't know. So are you familiar with Awake Souls work and stuff? Is that who you're referring to, Jason? And
yes, we thought he was our friend. We were having hangouts with him. They both said that they would join our group, our project, and help us download stuff. We said yes, they could take stuff. But instead of asking any questions, they just tried to hack it all.
Wow. My only question was in what format do you need it? Because the data is so raw that I can put it in any format that any program can actually use it. And they actually never gave the answer, but what I saw was that Ronnie got his login and he sent it through Skype to Q&V, and Q&V tried to log in with different methods and tried to hack in to actually see more, etc. Actually use a program to rip the whole site, all the content. But yeah, as a main platform developer, I actually know this stuff and just don't use all this stuff. And I actually developed my own framework to build websites with and the program. And yeah, nobody gets it because nobody knows how I work.
Can I just,
like I said, I didn't know.
Can I just say, as Billy, also, he wrote my video. I made a video about them because I put one out saying beware because they're not who they say they are. We thought Jason was our friend, and he came on a hangout, and I've got the hangout proof, and Series has got it on his program. We could go to the police with what they did, but he came, Q&V came to my YouTube channel, and he was really rude to me, wasn't he, Series? And he said, I can take your site anytime I want. This is a couple of weeks ago, so I reported him. I don't want him coming anywhere near us.
I recently been...
Steal the work I had actually put together, and me and Karen had put together because she was completely 100% in it from the beginning. And
what they didn't understand either was that Series is giving this information for free, so they didn't need to steal it.
Wow. Okay. Then they're not what they appear to be, because when I took my break from the circling A&E map, as you know, I had to rethink this whole. I know the Earth is flat and it's a plane, and there's a lot of psyops, people out there that are conniving. I understand that. So I ran across them, and I was looking into the simulation theory, and I also went to flat Earth conspiracy. I don't know, Lori and Lawrence don't have a good reputation either. I was willing to listen to everyone's point of view. I do like flat Earth photography. Like I said, that when you turned me on to him, D, I don't know, months ago, that's when it started the ball rolling. The things. At first, I thought there were multiple suns, multiple moons, multiple projections. We had this discussion. People said I was going crazy. I was trying to figure it out because the A&E map was just giving me a hard time. Yeah. And so I just was recently studying in the simulation theory, and I had looked into the 4D. And we had brief discussions with D at Turtle Padawan and I. And it was very interesting, and I'm open to everything. I don't make fun of anybody or anything like that. I'm always, willing to listen. And the more I looked into it, the more I wanted to learn about it. So, and I was sort of thinking, a lot of people say the honeycomb, everyone has the individual bubble. I tried to run that by a couple other people, and they will no longer associate with me. I'm blocked from most flat Earth channels. I am the most respectful, politest person. I never use foul language. I always leave positive comments. If I do leave something critical, it's constructed in a way that it's questionary and it's always respectful. And I get blocked. They get tired of the questions.
They can't handle you. They just can't handle you.
Yeah. See, the thing here, Billy, is
then you're dangerous.
Yeah, and Siri's loves questions as well, Billy. Siri's absolutely loves questions, so never be afraid to ask.
Okay, great, because I knew there had to be somebody who knew what they were doing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So I mean, within the group, I mean, Dee was telling me about it and telling me about Santos and stuff, and I went to his channel, and it was very hard to understand a lot of it. But back then, I was still being confused with all these models, and I was trying to figure out the A&E. See, then Captain Cook and all these people lied about sailing around an ice wall and all that, Admiral Byrd and this and that. I was just trying to. They just put up a video. I saw somebody from the group posted the video, or maybe it was on Santos, Drive and Survive, where someone had a 1958 Encyclopedia Britannica. They were reading out of it, and they said down south in the Arctic there was a 13,000-foot.
Yeah, we did this one last night, didn't we, on a hangout? Martin brought it up.
Okay,
yeah, carry on.
So
yeah,
a lot of flat earth channels won't even let you ask questions about a dome or anything. So,
in that sense, in physical sense, I'm not there yet.
Or some sort of barrier. Okay, it could be a square plate. It could be flat. I don't know. There is some sort of barrier up there. I would concur.
Yeah, it's
in my opinion.
So actually, what I tried to figure out still with the flower of life in three-dimensional sense, in two-dimensional sense, I figured already out that the flower of life needs only a single square in east-west direction to loop itself, but in north-south direction it needs actually 13 squares to actually loop itself. That the pattern of the circle is etching the whole square in all directions. When you move it in north-south direction, you end up a little short, and it takes 15 circles to end up in the 13th square and actually exactly touch the edges of the square there. And then in east-west direction, it only needs one square, because the points of the flower are etching the square itself. And when you have the diagonal flowers in north direction and in south direction, you end up a little bit short.
1 second, series. 1 second, series. 1 second. Series. 1 second. Someone else has joined the hangout. Who's that? There's someone else there.
Hey, Blaine.
It's Blaine.
Long time no see.
Blaine?
But yeah, I explained this in my video. 3, 4, 5, 7. Yeah. It's all the beyonds. And figure is that the east-west line direction is the fourth dimensional field, but is actually as a toroidal field around your own perception bubble. In east-west sense, that you are the center of that toroidal field, and you see half of it above you, and below you there's nothing to see other than land. That is your barrier there. But when you walk the line, you walk actually through that toroidal field, but it's just turning into itself. And this for east-west, the fourth dimensional circle, and then north-south, the fifth dimensional circle. And I'm just stuck on the sixth on that. It probably is the whole celestial realm in how we see the sky and how that energy flow is actually orchestrating within every individual on Earth doing their act within the whole play of what creation is. Fixed, but in essence because of the whole truth of prophecies in that sense. that things are going to happen, but individually we seem to have still our own choice in the doings of how the little ripples are going. Bigger structure is all from above, if you ask me. And in that sense, it's also serving the Most High or being enslaved by the Most Low. It's a choice we make of being written in the book of the living or being written in the book of the dead.
So before the fall, we were multidimensional beings, spiritual beings, and
Yeah,
then we could
that's what I think.
defy the laws of physics that we know in this realm, and we gave that all up for the in search of knowledge.
Do you know?
To the story.
Do you know Ecclesiastic 12:13?
I'm sorry. One more time.
The whole of Ecclesiastic 12:13. Let us hear the whole of the conclusion. Fear God, keep His commandments, for that is the whole duty of man. Why fear God? Because there's nothing else to fear. Not the devil, not death, not the unknown.
Amen. Can destroy the body, but fear the one who can destroy both body and soul. I agree. Yeah. Why would you argue with the designer and the ultimate creator, the ultimate of knowledge? It's the way. And man chose it upon himself to grow his head. You're right.
Billy, can I ask you something?
In that sense, it's also orchestrated from above by the creator. So in essence, it's his creation. In that sense.
Billy, when did we go from being into gods to one god, though? You know what I mean? Like, the pagans and all that, they had gods. And then suddenly we've got one god.
Yeah, the pagans were other nations. The actual laws given to Adam at first, as the first one actually receiving the law, and later on through Jacob becoming Israel, becoming the 12 tribes, are the only ones actually obligated to keep the commandments. Obligated. The nations are not obligated because they never got the law to begin with. And there's some sort of jealousy from all those nations because they will be the nations actually serving the most high nation of all. And the true children have, for a lack of knowledge, lost their was it somewhere from Moses his time that in slavery that would be for at least 400 years, and probably that's slavery started in 1619 and it will end in 2019 and 350. Oh, yeah. Do you hear me still? Let him take his coffee.
Well, I'm going to take this chance to get a drink myself then.
Yeah, coffee break.
So,
yeah.
Where do we go from here? So is it okay to talk about your motto? I mean, I will refer someone to your YouTube channel. I'm not going to copyright anything or anything like that. If someone has some questions, if I start talking about this, your YouTube channel and Free Energy's YouTube channel would be the best. I had been referring people to Q&A, Flat Earth Photography, Wake Souls. I didn't know they were like that. I know that there's now more bashing hats and stuff like that. And I took a look at Lori and Lawrence's model, the diamond shape. I just wasn't I couldn't wrap my head around it. I just couldn't understand how the sun and the moon. They said the sun was a simulation, a simulator. They didn't even believe in an actual sun. It was just some crazy stuff. So I sort of steered away. I'm new into all this, so I'm very interested in finding out, what's actually going on. So.
How long are you busy with focused on flat Earth itself, knowing about?
3 years now. It started off with me finding out that the moon landing was a hoax, and I started off studying the geocentric round model with Malcolm Baldwin. So I did a lot of studying into geocentrism, but I still believed in the 93 million mile sun, but that the sun and the moon were orbiting a stationary sphere. And then one of my daughter's friends told me about possibly the Earth being flat. And then I started out with Eric DeBay, Mark Sargent. And, so like I said, it's been a long journey. And like I say, some of the bigger channels, if you don't go with their song and dance routine, if you start asking too many questions, they just block you. So, like I said, how can you see at 6,000 miles away? For example, it is 4:47 here in New York State in the United States. China will be having their sunrise in a few minutes at 5 a.m. Okay? How am I seeing a sun? It's still high in my sky, 1,000 miles away from China's sunrise. Oh, it's atmospheric lensing. Really? There's no clouds in 6,000? So I asked the question, there's no clouds or anything? The smallest can block out the sunlight, the direct sunlight above me. You mean to tell me in 6,000 miles there's no clouds? And how is it that United Kingdom being, okay, you're 9 o'clock, there in a few minutes.
10. You
can't see the sun in New York State in what, you're like 3,600 miles away? So I can see a sun that's 6,000 miles away in China, but you can't see my sun in New York and you're only 36. It doesn't sense.
Billy, I had the same when I was watching the sun going off to America, and it was coming up in Australia. So how can that be that the light and the sun is coming up in Australia, and I'm still watching the sun going to you?
Exactly. And like I said, my sun is starting to set northwest, directly going west. So it's not headed out towards California in that way. It's starting to set more in the northwest.
My sun sets northwest. Mine goes northwest at the moment.
It bends north and south away. This is why we see the southern and northern circles as a wheel. But still, we would walk over the Earth, then the wheel would still turn in a bubble. And that is how you actually walk through an infinite finite space, east-west, through a wheel that turns. And that turning of the wheel is actually exactly the same where how the fourth dimension actually splits out before you and comes back into yourself behind you. And the sideways is where both of the axes actually meet each other when they split up to half of what it is, of where you are, and then as a center point, and then backwards it's coming to forward, meeting the front. And that is the field, what is the complete dimension of the fourth dimension in that terms, over the first of the three dimensions axis. Exactly that same circle in north-south direction, but that circle is way bigger because it also contains the fourth.
So our reality is a multi-dimensional simulated construct, in other words.
Yeah, and hyperdimensional construct.
Hyperdimensional. Okay, beautiful. Like I said, when I start asking these questions, they're like, they look at me like, okay, I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. And like I said, it makes a lot of sense because, you know, our great creator and our designer, his mind, this could, I'm not saying that it's some kind of mechanical computer generated hologram. I'm saying this could be pure thought, kind of a creator, and all the programming exists in the ether. Do you folks believe in the luminiferous ether, or?
I figure the sixth dimension is actually between heaven and earth, because that's up and down. When you would take the fifth dimension as a circle and you meet the other side of the circle, in that sense, that is above for us. Heaven is above, but it is actually north or south. And I figure even that north is the heaven direction, and south is even a hell direction because of multi-chakra system, at least the 7, or the 4th in the heart of the chakra, in the heart chakra of the 7. And within that dimension, we have the 3 squares, in where we have again the 7 chakras of the world, north and south pillars. And then within the heart of that chakra, we have the center of where the sun of our world is. Playing together with the moon. And the moon has its own analima in opposite directions in the bigger and the smaller circle, and up and down.
Beautiful.
And it was 13 times faster than the sun.
Oh yeah. So I didn't want to interrupt, but I didn't want to break the flow there because you're on quite a good roll. But yeah, no. So yeah, I just saw my hand. But no, I was just going to say, good video to watch on that Point Alert series is making there. There's a guy called Dave Marsh.
Yeah, he's done his own research.
I'll send you a link to his moon race videos. Yeah. Real good observations on this stuff that series is talking about now, with the analimas and the sun moving fast, the moon moving faster than the sun and that kind of stuff, or the moon.
Plus, it spells the circle map as well. It proves the circle map's wrong.
So thank you guys, beautiful. I mean, all right, it's beautiful because I didn't know how I was gonna feel out there. How long has the group been existing?
Yay! We've been going since about July. About July, August last year. But with series since October. But he started his program in November, December proper. So this whole thing where we've got to has really come from December. And the group's growing. We have hangouts quite regularly. We want to move this on. You know, it's here and now. So we want to, you know, yeah. And we've got a lot of people, like I said, we're not the biggest, but we're getting the important ones. We're getting researchers. We're getting bigger YouTubers. It's beginning to happen right now. It's just most amazing.
It's especially having a social platform in that we try to connect with people, actually get to know people at a way personal level, in that you actually connect together as a group. All the trolling and all the Facebook stuff, where you actually see words and nothing else than words, but never interact with the actual emotional side of the other side of the person. You can't see who they actually are. And in a way, we filter the people through how they act. I mean, it doesn't matter what my that was one phrase I actually put up on my website since Ronnie and Jason. No matter what one says, only what one does confirms true intent.
Could I just stop something for a minute? Because I actually know that we've got Billy on this hangout, but Morgile wants to come on.
Right now.
Whoa, he's there.
This one now.
Yeah, yeah, we could do something today. What time?
So cool.
What time did you have in mind? Also, what?
That's okay. I like John. I mean, you know.
I just answering back then. I didn't want to seem rude because I'm actually enjoying having Billy here. You're a really nice person, Billy. I can just tell by your voice. It's like heaven. I think I could listen to you for quite a long time.
I told you you'd like him, Cameron.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I understand who he is. He's a very spiritual person. I like it.
He's a very deep man. We've had some good conversations in the past. We haven't spoken a lot lately, but yeah, in the past, when I was first starting off, yeah, Billy was a real big help to me.
I wanted to ask questions. I knew there was more to the model than what was being presented. And you go to a lot, not to discredit a lot of these bigger channels, it's more like a social club. They really don't present final evidence or talk about really answering certain questions within the flat earth. They just want to go around and around in that little circular A&E map model and don't ever question the model. And if you do, it causes a lot of contention. Like,
That's the point.
Right.
You need to go out of the flesh and get into the spirit of things. And that's the main barrier.
Well, having the map be more like a shoebox, a square, that would answer the equinox, and there's parallel lines. There's no parallel lines on a globe, and there's no parallel lines on the A&E map. So how does the equinox work? And that was a question that I had. And
longitudinal sense, anything in northern direction is parallel on the map. It is perfectly parallel
perfectly.
And it's so weird. You can see it on streets, on buildings, especially built in certain direction, north, south, east, west direction. Everywhere on the map, in all the cities, it's always perfectly aligned. And in directional things. So I figure even if they focus this on how Polaris works as a straight direction, what keeps being north, longitudinal sense east-west. Yeah, sorry, but how does that work? I mean, there must be a way beyond north and south to actually have this kind of parallel lineup to begin with. And if you have
I have to say this much.
Around.
I have to say this much, series. Just talking to you for a few minutes has saved me hours.
Oh, isn't that nice?
I mean, answer a lot of questions very quickly. I mean, that's good. Because when you're asking other people, they don't even want to think outside the box at all, which is sad.
Yeah,
I'm glad I found this group. It's really
saying D is in 7D, what I think is in 6D, what I can put in words is in 5D, what I tell to other people is in 4D, but what people understand is only 3D. They can't get out of that box, the 3D black.
But see, this is what the elites have done to us. They program us to be like this, or like what you people are, and they've been like that, and they've been keeping that knowledge hidden. No wonder they have such a mind grip over us.
Well, look what they've made us believe. Look what they've made us believe, and most people don't even question it. They just don't see it, and some of us have woken up, and some of us haven't.
You're not woken up until you've gotten into this group. You're really woke up.
Yeah, and it's really deep.
It's been a lot. Listen, I had a meltdown. I had to get off, and I knew there had to be something more. Things weren't working out. Dee will tell you, knew there had to be something different. Things just weren't jiving. And this makes a lot of sense because that's the way it is. It's sad that people, they can only grasp the reality they've been programmed that they live in. They really have no concept of their reality. All their history has been altered, and they've been lied to, their whole construct is based upon lies and false information. You know, even the money system, everything within this reality that we live in, this construct, the matrix that they have created for us, and people just can't bust out of it. I can see why. It's truly sad. Wow. Yeah, because I was talking multiple suns. Remember, D? There's got to be multiple suns. There's got to be multiple moons. And people thought I was out of my mind, and people stopped talking to me. And I don't know.
It was just not in the way you were thinking back then.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But like
Makes
I
a
say,
lot of sense.
Check out that presentation video when you've got the time, man, because that will probably help answer a few more questions as well. And you'll get to see the map as well, as it is so far.
Wow. Dude,
Well,
how does Mark Sargent do all this?
I'll let Karen answer that, because she's really chuffed with how he feels about that.
We showed him a bit of our work, and he said he's never seen any work like that. But the good thing is that he's staying, and he's going to come on this big hangout I'm arranging, and also he's going to come to the UK for the Flat Earth convention that we're having. And we've just got John now. Hello.
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 In the morgue.
Yeah.
What's up, all? Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
1 second, I'll just come back and say.